it's no secret that Joshua did not want this fight. And he didn't want it for a reason, because Deontay Wilder is the most fiercest puncher in boxing history, in heavyweight division history. And I saw that tonight, I felt it. No wonder AJ didn't want no part of that right hand. He can't move like me, he'd have been nailed.
Tyson Fury calls Deontay Wilder a bum after struggling with Otto Wallin. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego in the back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chat channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Sign up for ESPN Plus. The link is in the description of all my videos. It is $4.99, and they also have UFC pay-per-views you can purchase. Some really good fights. Now, speaking of good fights, I enjoyed Tyson Fury versus Otto Wallin. Way better than expected. Otto Wallin, unheralded, unknown, stepped up in a major way and really, pushed Fury. They hurt each other, I believe, and it was more of a war than most people thought going into the fight. Now, this is from Top Rank directly, and they have everything quoted. Tyson Fury calls Deontay Wilder a bum after a tough, hard-fought win and unanimous decision. I do believe some of the scorecards were a bit wide. Some of the commentary from some of the people on ESPN was too skewed for my taste. I thought it was a competitive fight. And from Top Rank, it says, Otto Wallin buzzed Tyson Fury in the 12th round with the left hand, but Fury weathered a last-ditch effort. Fury now has his sights set on a much-discussed 2020 rematch with WBC champion Wilder. Quote, Tyson Fury, which I'll play at the end of the video, said, "Congrats to Otto, and God bless his father and let him rest in peace. He would be very proud of Otto's performance. It was a great fight. I got cut early on in the eyelid, and that changed the fight completely. I couldn't see out of the left eye, and there were a lot of clashes. Deontay Wilder, I want you next, bum." So he screamed that he wants Wilder next, and Wilder's a bum. Now, the ironic thing is, in my honest opinion, after that performance, which Tyson Fury, you could say he won, but against a guy who fought one 10-rounder in his whole career, one 12-rounder in his whole career, fought in America one time, I really feel like Otto Wallin made more of a name for himself and did himself more of a service to get, the next look and the next opportunity off of his performance than anything else. And to me, off of that performance, I think Tyson Fury should have probably played the more humble approach, calling Wilder a bum after going in with the unknown guy who really was inexperienced at that level, and him pushing you through that type of fight. I really wouldn't be calling Wilder a bum. Wilder did what Tyson Fury and Otto Wallin didn't do to each other, even though they had a war, which is knock each other down. Wilder knocked Tyson Fury down twice, and he did it in a major way and hard. And I told you guys, I'm not convinced that Tyson Fury is fully recovered from the 12th round scare against Wilder. And this fight, this was another 12th round scare. Tyson Fury had been throwing a lot of punches. He was in there with the durable Otto Wallin, and he just wouldn't give up. He couldn't knock him down. He couldn't fully discourage him. And Wallin, he was still game, and he hurt Tyson Fury bad and definitely captured the 12th round. That's, it's not a good look for Tyson Fury. Like, I don't know what it is about the 12th round, but he's been having some 12th round scares versus Klitschko, versus Wilder, and now Otto Wallin. And, the type of power Wilder has, I don't think Tyson Fury would have been able to fight the method that he fought against Otto Wallin. There were times where he was just like trying to put it on and like load up on every shot to try to get him out of there. And I understand there was a sense of urgency, but I think Wilder is much faster. He's a bit taller than Otto Wallin. He's more athletic, just harder puncher, etc. So Tyson Fury going into the rematch, I think a fight like this, for what it was supposed to be, a showcase. The good thing is it turned out entertaining for the fans, but for a showcase fight, it wasn't his best work, And I think leading up to the Wilder fight, this has created some intrigue and some doubts now with people. Before, old media would say that Tyson Fury is going to run through Deontay Wilder, and he beat Wilder the first fight easy, 10 rounds to 2. And I just really feel like this saga is going to be similar to the Andre Ward Sergey Kovalev, where, you know, there are people who question if Andre Ward beat Kovalev and this and that, you know, similar to Mayweather Castillo as well, where the first fight was close. The first fight was a draw or, you know, controversial, whatever you want to say. And then in the second fight, one fighter pulls away, and those same people who said the rematch was going to go a certain way, when what they think happens or what they think is going to happen doesn't happen, then they just revert back to, oh, but he still lost the first fight. You know, similar to Triple G versus Canelo, similar to Mayweather versus Castillo, similar to Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev, similar to Sugar Ray coming back and beating Roberto Duran twice after losing the first fight. You know, it's the same old. And off of this performance, if Tyson Fury has a contract that he can only fight one person, which was that fight, that Otto Wallin fight, and Wilder's fighting Ortiz, and then they can't fight anyone else, you know, because you have to understand, this is probably, but I would say this was, I haven't seen the contract, but I would say it's probably put in the contract, because the more tune-ups you do, the more likely something could happen in between. So I think it's probably outlined how many in between or stay busy voluntary fights that they have before. And to my understanding, this was Tyson Fury's last voluntary fight before a February 2020 fight with Wilder, and Wilder's about to fight Luis Ortiz in November and try to, you know, get a faster knockout or whatever, and then Tyson Fury is next. So off of that performance, I think Tyson Fury, he should rest with his family. Then he has to go back to the basics. He has to also worry about the scar tissue and potential cutting versus Wilder. I really think Wilder is a shark, and that's like blood in the ocean. If Tyson Fury was leaking like a stuck pig, like he was in this particular fight with multiple cuts, then I think it would be a real bad look with the dangerous puncher who's athletic. And beyond the power, we all know Wilder has power, but beyond that, Deontay Wilder is unorthodox. He has more speed than you expect. He boxes better than people expect, and his power is harder than people probably expect. And he throws punches at weird ass angles. And he's been working on his uppercut. See, and the other thing is Otto Wallin, the way Tyson Fury was like kind of giving up his height and leaning in and crouching in and trying to burrow his head into Otto Wallin's body. This is a trick that Tyson Fury has employed on smaller, shorter fighters like Steve Cunningham. I don't think Wilder's going to allow that. I think Wilder hits too hard. And Wilder, like I said, Wilder's been improving his uppercut and also his body attack. So, you know, this is the downside for Bob Arum and Top Rank and ESPN. And it's really hysterical to me, because this is what I feared and this is what I told people, right? I didn't say that Otto Wallin would beat Tyson Fury, and he didn't beat Tyson Fury. You know, the judges gave it to Tyson Fury. But this is precisely why I wanted to see an immediate Wilder Fury 2 rematch. Let the guys make a lot of money and may the best man win. But you see ESPN and Top Rank and Bob Arum, they got greedy. And they seen this story and seen how great of a fight Wilder Fury was at the Staples Center, and they coattailed and piggyback off of the labor of Premier Boxing Champs and Showtime and Frank Warren, and Wilder and Fury won in that partnership, and then they wanted a piece of the action. Now, as a business, I can't get mad at someone for wanting a piece of the action and getting money, but they did not have to disrupt negotiations and create this new calendar where the Tyson Fury was to get interim fights. They should have just did a Showtime, ESPN, or Fox ESPN pay-per-view and did the immediate rematch for these very reasons. Because when you don't do an immediate rematch, this is what could happen. You get a guy like Otto Wallin, who's really not supposed to be in there, and he's expected to be a guy who looks just like the Tyson Fury versus Tom Schwartz fight, and then he puts up a valiant effort. He's more durable, and then you end up hurting your fighter's stock more than you help him. You end up showing your enemy, your foe, your future foe, Deontay Wilder, and people like Andy Ruiz who dissed him, you show him more vulnerability and ways to beat you, and allow him to gain confidence based on that performance. And I feel like boxing is always getting in its own way, and this is what happens. You got people in suits who get greedy and they want to be a part of something and let the fights marinate, and then unexpected things like this happen. You know, John Fury just went in on Tyson Fury's performance and said, had it been Wilder or maybe even Ruiz, Tyson Fury wouldn't have won. You know, the fact of the matter is Otto Wallin did much better than anticipated, and he wasn't even really doing, like, no disrespect to his effort, you know, because he actually probably gained some fans, but he wasn't doing anything so superb or so spectacular. You get what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't doing Roy Jones, Sergio Martinez type of crazy movements with these explosive, you know, snake-like strike, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, getting out. He was just doing basic stuff. And we don't even know on a elite level. We know he's a big guy, 6'5.5", but we don't know what type of formidable puncher he is in the elite realm. And Tyson Fury was badly hurt in the 12th round, and I also feel he got hurt earlier in the fight, round 6 or 7, and he started backing off and he started clinching, you know. And the amount of punishment that Tyson Fury dished out from round 7 to 10 about, it's really questionable. You know, the Wilder rematch that Tyson Fury won, he was never able to really truly hurt Otto Wallin and, like, get him to take a knee like he did to Tom Schwartz, or knock him down or knock him out, despite landing flush-ass punches. And beyond that, after that, dishing out that much punishment, and ESPN has said he's the Terrence Crawford of the heavyweight division in these type of statements, how come he's the one that's getting hurt in the final round and is looking bad for him, and he's supposed to be the supreme ring general and masterclass boxer? Which, you know, again, this is what I've been saying to people. I think Tyson Fury is a good fighter, but the way they've built him up and some of the stuff they've said, like, this is just masterclass boxing at his fine, they're acting like he's doing Floyd Mayweather type of stuff, and he's simply not. They said his performance versus Wilder was a masterclass boxing exhibition, and it really wasn't. I think in the first 3-4 rounds he was very respectful of Wilder, and he wasn't landing too much. You know, a lot of those rounds went to Wilder's way, you know, or at best were objective. So, you know, this is part of the issue when you try to delay fights and starve the fans out and make people wait. You get somebody who's not even supposed to be here, and if anything, you turn someone into a star, a celebrity overnight, more so than you help your own cause. And I think we've seen that with Joshua. He should have fought Wilder as well, but him and his team were playing games and thought Joshua was invincible. And then Gerald Miller, a series of unfortunate events, Gerald Miller fails a drug test, and before you know it, Andy Ruiz is next up. You know, they claim they wanted Luis Ortiz, which I think would have been a bad fight for Joshua, especially with ill time to prepare. But it didn't matter because they put Ruiz in there, and now we're getting a rematch because Ruiz stopped him. You know, and Tyson Fury came very close to meeting defeat. A lot of people would say he's exposed from this. So he didn't really do himself. Him and Top Rank, they did all this, and they built him up and tried to, you know, masterclass boxer and stuff. I want to know why he's getting hurt in the 12th round, and they're making him like he's a one-punch knockout artist. It's just, none of this stuff makes sense. It really does. And for Tyson Fury to have that type of performance, have his face in the status that it was at the end of the fight, cuts and, you know, riddled with dried blood and deep gashes, and call Wilder a bum after. The bottom line is, these things for old media and for Tyson Fury, the antics, they become less and less believable after a performance like that. Like Tyson Fury, oh, Wilder, you big bum, you a dosser. You could say that, but based on that performance, I don't know how many people actually believe it now. You know, I beat Wilder 10 rounds to 2, and he's weak, and he's a bum dosser. Like, you're doing this stuff for show, but sometimes you got to take a different approach. I have no problem with him calling out Wilder, but to call Wilder a bum after that particular performance where you fought somebody who the public perceived as a bum, and he gave you some work, and there was no one on, name one person on Otto Wallin's entire resume that stacks up to Wilder. Name one victory that Otto Wallin has ever had that you consider an elite victory. Like, you know, even the Alexander Povetkin, Kubrat Pulev, anybody like that. So realistically, you did more favors by fighting Otto Wallin and letting him put on that type of performance in a loss than you did do yourself justice by. So I personally wouldn't have did all that and like call Wilder a bum. No one believes it. It's kind of like Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor's talking shit to Khabib Nurmagomedov, but this is the guy that dropped you to the mat and made you submit. So before you fought Khabib Nurmagomedov, the shit was cute, the shit was fun, the shit was cool. Same thing with Conor, still talking about Floyd Mayweather and posting memes and shit. The fact is, Floyd Mayweather stopped you. So these little parodies and like jabs and digs and stuff, they don't have the same effect at a time like this. You get what I'm saying? Like calling Wilder a bum, that shit was cool the first time, and then after a performance like that, I just don't see it really doing you any favors. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Listen to Tyson Fury call Wilder a bum, and let me know what you guys think. We work.
Big congratulations to Otto. I just want to say rest in peace to his father. I know he'd be very, very proud of the performance that Otto Wallin just did. The great Swede, the Viking warrior. It was a great fight, you know. I got caught early on with the inside of the glove on the eyelid, which cut the eye, changed the fight completely. For majority of the fight, I couldn't see out my left eye, and then Southpaw Orthodox clashed heads and give me a second cut. I've not seen the cut, but it feels quite bad. But you know, I am a gypsy warrior. This is Mexican Independence Day. Come on, Mexico! Viva Mexico!
You told us in the fighter meetings you wanted a war. You wanted to finish this fight with a body shot a la Julio Cesar Chavez. You ended up with a face like Julio did against Oscar De La Hoya, with the blood and everything. What did you learn about yourself in your performance tonight?
Listen, it was a good performance. I got a good 12 rounds in. Otto Wallin was a tough Swede. Blood, guts, heart, all showed tonight. I won the WBC prestigious Mayan belt, the lineal champion, 5th defense of my title. Deontay Wilder, I want you next, bum!
You will get that next once you recover from this cut. And when we look at that, 2020 is the fight everybody sees. What did you learn tonight that will help you for that fight?
Listen, all preparation is good. You know, I had a long time out of the ring. That's my 3rd fight back now. 1, 2, 3, 4th fight back. Put me in good stead now for the big boy, the old bronze bomber, the Big Dosser, aka Big Dosser. He's next February 22nd. Let the cut heal, you know, enjoy myself and get some time to relax with the family. It's been a long, tough, hard camp.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.